Democratic club is here. Things are heating up in the election. We're creeping towards November. It's coming. There's no stopping it. We want to welcome Ellen Feldman and Jeannie Lepowski back to our program. And you guys have the usual things going on. You're bringing in candidates. You're having speakers. You're doing a lot of great stuff. Alan, tell us what we have coming up on the 17th.
Okay, on the 17th, well, we did, as we were talking before, we did take a deep breath after the March primaries, but now we're gearing back up for the November election, and starting on Friday, the 17th of May, this coming Friday. We're going to have two people running for local offices here in the Laguna Woods area. State Senator Josh Newman, who's running for re-election in our district this year, the 37th district, and Dom Jones, who's running for State Assembly in our 72nd district, which is, again, all of Laguna Woods. And they're going to be doing 4 separate, what we call meet and greets throughout Laguna Woods. They're going to be here all day on Friday. People, maybe they don't know that term, meet and greet. Some places they
hope so.
In the Northeast, they call them house parties.
Oh, okay.
So they may know that term. But it's basically support of the candidate, or in this case, candidates, invites the candidates to their home and invites people from the community, their neighbors, their friends, and gives people an opportunity to speak with the candidates in an informal setting. Usually candidates will make a short statement, maybe 5 minutes, less than that, and gives people an opportunity to ask questions of the candidates where they can't really squirm and run away from the question. They're right there. I know we have a graphic up on the screen which will tell you where these 4 individual meet and greets are going to be. So if you're interested in going, you don't have to go from one end of Laguna Woods to the other. There should be one right near you. The only thing I would say to people is, if you're interested or even think you might be interested, to contact Nancy Hensel at that email or phone number as soon as possible. Is in people's homes, so things are going to be limited.
There's going to be limited space available.
Yeah.
And it's a nice kind of a way to get away from the stump speech you would hear as a candidate maybe goes through city and kind of does their barnstorming, and maybe have the Q&A or get a little bit deeper dive into what they want to know or what they want to talk about.
Absolutely, it's a rare opportunity to in an informal setting to speak to people who are running for office, and just as important, to have them speak to the voters. You're absolutely right. It's different. You're not going to hear a campaign speech. They may try, but you're right there. You're 5 feet away from them.
Right, and you really get to know. You can get a good idea of that person because they're speaking off the cuff. You're getting their knowledge. You're asking them pointed questions, which you don't get to do when they're on the stump and doing a campaign speech.
And you can follow up. If they don't answer that question,
exactly.
You can
Wait a minute.
up.
I asked this. Jeannie, you have your regular monthly meeting coming up, and you have a couple of speakers that are going to be there. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, we have speakers who are going to address the issue of public education, and they say that all politics is local, and in fact, a lot of what really matters to people are issues that can be addressed at the local level. So our speakers are public education advocates. They are both teachers or former teachers, and they are involved with an organization called SOPE-OC, which stands for Supporters of Public Education, Orange County. So they're going to talk about what's going on in public education, what are the issues, and there are some real issues that have been going on this year. There was a recall in one of our public school districts. There is our Orange County Superintendent of the Department of Education is going to be resigning because he's ill, and so there are a lot of changes going on. We've also had Board of Education elections. That's the Orange County Board of Education, not the individual district Board of Education. So they're going to be, it's Terry Saray, who's the chair of the Supporters of Public Education, and Billy Joe Wright, who is also involved. I believe he's the first vice president. So they're going to be talking about all those issues and taking questions, as we always do, so people can get a better understanding of what's going on, what are the issues, where we go from there.
Now, I used to cover school board stuff when I was in Abilene, Texas, and I covered stuff when I was working for the Register down in South County. And I would go, and they were usually folks from the community who were interested in the public education and kind of getting things through. Are you surprised at how politicized school boards have become in the past 7-8 years or so?
Well, yeah, it's disappointing that school boards have become politicized. You find some school boards have people have been elected to those positions and they have no background in education.
Right, there's almost zero interest. They have kind of their own agenda and that kind of thing coming in, and they want to be transformative in an interesting way. We'll say that.
Yeah. Well, it seems the way I would phrase it is there's this culture wars that's been injected into our school boards, and that's I think not the place. My opinion is not the place for culture wars. We need to be focusing on the kids, making sure they're educated, making sure they know math, history, science, and literature, so that they can grow up and become effective citizens of the country.
And it was such a nonpartisan kind of a board and elected place before, and now it has become anything but that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. We need education, not ideology.
Right. And so, yeah, if it seems like the educators have kind of been pushed out with these, with a lot of what's going on there sometimes.
Yeah. Although fortunately that didn't happen with well, it was attempted in some districts. There's still a lot going on. It's still very, very concerning.
So, Ellen, back on that note, Laguna Woods Democratic Club is going to have a fundraiser coming up, and this is so you guys can help support local candidates, put on the meetings that you do, and all of those kind of things.
Absolutely. Our fundraiser is going to be on Saturday, June 22nd. It's going to be about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a brunch this year. Usually we have it, in the afternoon, but we're doing it as a brunch this year. There will be food. There's a catered meal, and it's always a big issue in Laguna Woods. You got to let people know that.
If you want people to donate, you better feed them.
All the details aren't. It's not for a month over a month away. But not all the details are settled down yet. But we do know that we're going to have what we call an opportunity drawing, which is basically kind of like a never-ending raffle. You just keep on drawing names until all the prizes are gone. And we try to get as many gift cards to local businesses as we can to give away as prizes, things that people can actually use in their day-to-day life. And while we don't know a lot of things yet about what's going to happen, we do know our main speaker is going to be Toni Atkins from San Diego. Toni Atkins, I think in 2016, she was in the California State Assembly. She was elected Speaker of the California State Assembly, third woman to be Speaker, I believe. And she went on to the State Senate, and she became the first woman to be President Pro Tem of the State Senate. And due to term limits, she didn't run again in 2024. So she's now running for governor. She's an announced candidate for governor of 2026. So it should be interesting to hear what she has to say. And so people should just keep their eyes open for that. The details will be coming out, as we get closer to the event, as to how to, what we're going to have and how to sign up and reserve your place in it.
Now, what do the funds go to for the Democratic Club? What do you guys put them towards in terms of getting speakers and having events and those kinds of things?
All of our funds, by law, because the Laguna Woods Democratic Club is actually a political action committee. It's a PAC. All of our funds have to go to candidates, and all of our funds are donated to local candidates, candidates running for state assembly, and for that's about as high as we go usually, state assembly. We'll do county-wide offices too, with district attorney supervisors, but we try to support the candidates running for water board and board of education. We don't contribute basically to national campaigns. They have enough money; they don't need ours. But all the money we get is funneled back to the candidates. Most of it direct contributions to them. That's why we raise the money. All
right, get out there for the fundraiser. More, I'm sure we'll have more on that as we go.
Absolutely.
Jeannie Lepowski and Alan Feldman, thank you so much from the Democratic Club.
Well, thank you, Mike. It's always a pleasure.
Always good to have you guys in.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up, we're going to preview the Monday movie. Stay with us.